Ma'am, recording.
Yeah, I started recording. Yeah, within here, whenever you are seeing a normal page, the page would be, the page look and feel will not be like this. If you want to design this web page in a rich look and feel manner, then we need to go ahead with the other technologies. Those are CSS and CSS3. Understood, all of you? CSS and CSS3. Okay. When as a developers of the .NET, we are just learning about the CSS. The people are in the organization. We have two kinds of people. One is designers and one is developers. Okay, designers and developers and two types of developers ఉంటారు. Okay, no? So the designers will be working mostly on the look and feel purpose. Designers will going to work on the look and feel purpose. Okay, now as a developers like us in the .NET or Java or PHP, any of the developer, we are not going to see about the look and feel purpose. We are just focusing on the development. We are just focusing on the development. Okay, how whenever you are clicking on the button, what will need to happen, what data we need to send to the database, what we need to retrieve from the database, that all the things we need to be focused on the focus as a developer. We need not to be required to learn CSS also, even though it is better for us that if you have a basic idea on the CSS, what is the meaning of CSS and all those things. So to design the web pages, we have many of the technologies nowadays. We have the bootstrap is the other concept, and so many other technologies are evolved in the market. And now as a class, to have a basic idea on the designing, we are just going to learn about CSS. As I'm telling you people, CSS is used for designing of the website, and we have three types of CSS. We have three types of CSS. One is inline, and three types of style sheets. CSS style sheet. One is inline style sheet. One is internal style sheet, and one is external style sheet. Spell out all of you. How many types of style sheets are there?
3.
Inline, internal, external.
Very good. Now, along with this, we have three types of selectors. Three types of selectors are there. Selectors, and these are style sheets. Okay, these are style sheets, selectors. Style sheets, and these are selectors. We have three types of selectors. Those are class as a selector, ID as a selector, and tag as a selector. Spell out again. How many types of selectors are there? Three. What?
Class, ID, tag.
Class as a selector, ID as a selector, and tag as a selector. Am I right? If you are taking a class as a selector, we need to take like this class name. Okay, na? Whenever you are taking a ID as a selector, we need to take like this hash ID. Now, if you are taking a tag as a selector, just we need to take a tag. Correct?
Yes.
Now, among the three types of style sheet, inline is less reusable than internal. Internal is less reusable than external. So, which is the most reusable style sheet?
Internal.
What? More reusable.
External.
So, inline కాకపోతే external కాకపోతే inline అంతేనా? People are able to see, right? This is less than, am I right? Inline is
Yes.
less than internal. Internal is less than external, right? So, which is
Yes.
more reusable?
External.
Right. More reusable is external, and less reusable is inline. So ఇలా చెప్తున్నాను నేను. The thing is which is more reusable, which is less reusable. So now what we can do is we can prove the same thing as programmatically. Why inline is less reusable and why is external is more reusable అని చెప్పేసి. అర్థమవుతుందా? So as
Yes.
of now, the basic thing you people learned here is CSS is used for designing purpose, and we have three types of style sheets. One is inline, internal, and external. Among this, inline is less reusable, and external is more reusable. We have three types of selectors. One is class as a selector, ID as a selector, and tag as a selector. If class is a selector, dot class name. If ID as a selector, hash ID. If tag as a selector, only tag name we need to give. Clear? Now we will
Yes.
see programmatical part of CSS, and we'll try to understand why inline is less reusable, why external is more reusable. Ardhamina?
Yes.
Now listen here, all of you, very carefully. I'm just trying to open the web project as we created yesterday. Under this we have as of now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages. Now I'm trying to create another page. If you want to create the page, we need to go to the solution explorer, right click on the solution, I'm just clicking on it, add the new item I'm adding, that is HTML page. Correct, all of you?
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm adding the page as HTML. It is processing in the backend. Yeah. Now if you want to go to the coding part, it is the source, and if you want to go to the design part, it is design. Am I right? That also we have discussed yesterday. Now if you want to write any style related code, must and should, yesterday also we discussed, right? Head part would be having the information about the headings and styles and scripting like JavaScript, jQuery, Angular, JS, all the code we need to place in head part and the Pravana.
Yes.
Now listen, the style also will goes to head part. Now if you want to include the style, we need to write like this. Style type is equal to text star CSS. Style type is equal to text star CSS. Okay, whatever the style you are using here, that style type is text star CSS. Just give me a minute, all of you. I'm just closing this. Yeah. Now listen, the style type we are following is text or CSS. After that, what I'm trying to do is, listen here, I'm taking dot C1. Okay, dot C1 in the sense, as I told you, if you are taking a class as a selector, dot class name. What is the name of the class here?
Dot
Yeah.
Dot class
here.
name. So what is the name of the class? After the dot, what is that?
C1.
C1. So C1 would be the class name. Okay. Now here in this dot C1, we need to give a list of styles. Like my height would be like I'm taking it here as like 60 pixel, and I'm taking a width would be like I'm taking 40 pixel, and I'm taking background color. The background color would be the background color would be yellow color, and I'm taking the color would be red color. అర్థమైందమ్మా అందరికి?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm trying to drag and drop a button here. Okay. Now for this button, I'm trying to apply this class. Okay. Now
Yes.
class is equal to C1 అని చెప్పేస్తే, so see, class అని పెట్టిన తర్వాతనే ఆటోమేటికల్ గా C1 అని వస్తుందా? Because
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
we can apply for this we can apply any controls in the body to this C1. అర్థమైందా? So see here, I'm trying
Yes.
to run this also parallelly. Observe. See, button came, right? Now listen here, all of you. If you want to increase the width also, you can able to increase, because some part of the button only will come is coming, right? Now see, clear?
Yes.
Now like this, the same thing we can able to use for many other controls, right? Listen, the same when okay, I'm taking again another control, that is button control. Now I'm taking again another control, that is button. For the same button, we can able to write class is equal to C1. Avunamma? So we can able to
Mm-hmm.
use the C1, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
అర్థమవుతుందా? See, if you people
Yeah.
want, I'm just trying to run this. Three buttons will be having button 1, button 2, button 3. Three buttons would be having the same design. అర్థమైందా?
Yes.
So this is a class as selector, right?
Yes.
Now I'm taking ID as selector. So suppose if I'm taking the text box, okay. What is the ID of the text box here, all of you? Text box.
ID of the 1.
Now if you want to go ahead with the ID as a selector, hash ID, right, all of you?
Yes. Yeah.
So hash ID అంటే hash text one నా నాకు ఇప్పుడు.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So hash text one, okay, na hash text one. Now here I'm taking some style like this, okay, like background color would be like something, okay, yellow green, okay. Again, color would be I'm giving us red. Otherwise, spin green, something will take. And now see here, I'm trying to run this. See the text box color would be changes. Correct? అర్థమైందా?
Yes,
Now
ma'am.
observe here the difference. Now ఇప్పుడు నేను ఇంకొక టెక్స్ట్ బాక్స్ తీసుకున్నాను అనుకోండి ఇక్కడ. ఈ టెక్స్ట్ బాక్స్ కి మనం ఈ స్టైల్ అప్లై చేయొచ్చా? No, right? Because the ID is here text 2. Here the style is only for text 1.
Text one. Yeah.
So ID as a selector would be less reusable than class as a selector. ఒకవేళ మనం క్లాస్ అని తీసుకున్నాం అనుకో ఇక్కడ కూడా క్లాస్ అని ఇచ్చుకోవచ్చు. సో క్లాస్ ఈజ్ రీయూజబుల్ ఇన్ మెనీ ప్లేసెస్ రైట్. ఐడి అని తీసుకుంటే ఏమవుతుంది, ఏదైతే కంట్రోల్ ఐడి ఉందో ఆ కంట్రోల్కి మాత్రమే అప్లై చేయగలం. See, whenever you are taking the IDs, here button 1, button 2, button 3, text 1, text 2, IDs must and should need to be unique. So duplicate IDs ఉండవు, ఉంటే ఎర్రర్ వస్తుంది మనకి. అర్థమవుతుందా? సో ఐడి యాజ్ ఎ సెలెక్టర్ కెన్ ఏబుల్ టు అప్లికబుల్ టు ద కంట్రోల్ విచ్ ఈస్ హ్యావింగ్ దట్ ఐడి ఓన్లీ. దట్స్ ఇట్. ఐమ్ రైట్? ఏదైతే కంట్రోల్ కి ఆ ఐడి ఉందో ఆ కంట్రోల్ కి మాత్రమే అప్లికబుల్ అవుతుంది. అవునా?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
సో కంట్రోల్ ఐడి యాజ్ ఎ సెలెక్టర్ వుడ్ బి లెస్ రియూజబుల్ దాన్ క్లాస్ యాజ్ ఎ సెలెక్టర్. ఐమ్ రైట్ ఆల్ ఆఫ్ యూ?
Yes, ma'am.
క్లియర్ ఆల్ ఆఫ్ యూ? ష్యూర్?
Yes, ma'am.
సో సి, ఇప్పుడు నాకు 10 కంట్రోల్స్ ఉన్నాయనుకోమ్మా, 10 కంట్రోల్స్కి 10 నేమ్స్ ఉండాలి, అది మ్యాండేటరీ. ఐడి నీడ్ టు బి యూనిక్, దట్ ఈస్ మ్యాండేటరీ. ఓకే, సో ఇఫ్ యూఆర్ టేకింగ్ ఐడి యాజ్ ఎ సెలెక్టర్, then that style would be applicable to only that control, because another control will have another ID name. Am I right?
Yes.
So that is the problem. If you are taking a class as selector, see how many times I have used the class as even 1, 2, 3, 4. 10 కంట్రోల్స్ కి సేమ్ స్టైల్ కావాలంటే 10 కంట్రోల్స్ కి క్లాస్ ఇస్ ఈక్వల్ టు C1 అని ఇస్తే సరిపోతుంది. సో ఐడి యాజ్ సెలెక్టర్ వి కాంట్ ఏబుల్ టు గివ్ లైక్ దట్. సో క్లాస్ as a selector would be more reusable than ID as a selector. Clear all of you? Now
Okay.
we'll see tag as a selector. Yesterday we have discussed about now here we'll see some tag, that is paragraph. Okay, I'm paragraph 1 I'm taking. Paragraph 1. Okay, now I'm trying to run this. Listen, see, I'm paragraph 1, it came right, all of you. Now listen, the same way can I take another paragraph, that is paragraph 2, paragraph 3, paragraph 4, like this? రాయొచ్చా? అర్థమవుతుందమ్మా అందరికి? Now I'm saving this. Observe, the paragraph will come. Now paragraph is a tag, right, all of you? అర్థమవుతుందా?
Yes, ma'am.
Paragraph is a tag. If you want to apply the style for the tag, then we need to take only tag as a selector, then tag name is P. Here also we have discussed, right? Tag in the sense just you are taking tag, that is paragraph is a tag. If you are taking a ID as a selector, hash ID. If you are taking a class as a selector, dot class name. Tag అంటే only tag name this call. See, that's what we discussed here. We are discussed here also. If you are taking ID as a selector, hash ID. If you are taking a class as a selector, dot class name. Here dot class name, the hash ID, only tag as a selector, that is tag name. Clear all of you? Any questions in this? Now here observe here all of you very carefully. Now here I'm taking the paragraph as a selector. We are taking some styles here. Background color as something, alice blue, something will take like this, and the color would be yellow. Now see here, I'm trying to run this, I'm trying to refresh this. See, something alice blue with yellow color, this is scheme. Other than this, we'll take red color so that it would be looks good. Okay, Amma?
Yes, ma'am.
So whenever you are taking paragraph as a selector, for all the paragraphs, I mean for all the control, for all the things, the tags that are having a paragraph as a selector, that will going to applicable. Am I right? Clear all of you? Take a screenshot of this. Completed.
Yes, ma'am.
Now We'll see other concept now. That is inline style sheet and internal and external. Okay. Now I'm just trying to create a new web page. I'm trying to create a new web page. Just give me a minute, all of you. 1 minute, and I'll come back. Yeah, listen here, all of you, very carefully. Now we're going to discuss about this part, that is internal and external and inline. Now listen here, all of you, very carefully. Observe. I'm taking a button control here. Ardhamautunama? Now
Yeah, ma'am.
here you can give the style here. See, style is equal to background color is equal to something again red color, and again red color, and color is yellow color, and you can give some other things like height, width, and all those things we can able to give here. Height is equal to 100 pixel and width is equal to 100 pixel. Till now it is clear, all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
See, we can able to see the look and feel of this also. See, వచ్చిందా?
Yes, ma'am.
See, నాకు ఇంకొక రిక్వైర్మెంట్ ఏంటంటే ఐ వాంట్ అనదర్ బటన్, దట్ బటన్ ఆల్సో నీడ్ టు హ్యావ్ ద సేమ్ స్టైల్. ఓకేనా? సో అప్పుడు ఏం చేయాలమ్మా? సో ఐ నీడ్ టు క్రియేట్ అనదర్ బటన్. సి ఫర్ దట్ బటన్ ఆల్సో ద సేమ్ స్టైల్ కావాలి అంటే మళ్ళీ నేను ఇక్కడ కోడ్ చేసుకోవాలి కదా.
Yeah.
So whatever the code that is written here, that is not reusing in other line, am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm not able to use this code again. I'm writing again here, background color is equal to something, something, something. That is not reusable, right? Whenever you're writing something in a software, technical software, that need to be reusable. That is the main motto of the developers. Here we are not reusing something that is there in the same line. That is a major issue. Okay, inline in the sense this is the open and this is closed. This is open and this is closed. Once it is closed, whatever there inside of this open and closed tag we can't able to reuse. అర్థమవుతుందమ్మా? ఇది ఓపెన్
Yes,
ఇది
ma'am.
క్లోజ్ అయిన తర్వాత దీని లోపల ఏమైతే స్టైల్ ఉందో దాన్ని క్లోజ్ బయట మనం వాడలేము. దాని లైఫ్ అక్కడికే అయిపోతుంది. We can't able to reuse this style after this close tag. Once you are closed na, the style life will going to be closed. It is applicable to this open and closed tag in between whatever the control it is there, that for that one it will apply applicable. Once it is came out of this closing tag, it won't be applicable to other controls. Clear? That is the
Yes.
problem with this inline style sheet. We can't able to reuse to the next line also. There is no reusability at all. అర్థమైందా? సో అదే మనం ఇంకో కంట్రోల్కి రీయూజ్ చేయాలి అంటే ఇంతకుముందు మనం ఇలా డిస్కస్ చేసాం కదా, స్టైల్ టైప్ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు టెక్స్ట్ డాట్ సిఎస్ఎస్ అని చెప్పి డాట్ C1 అని పెట్టేసి దెన్ వీ హ్యావ్ రీయూజ్, రైట్, ఆల్ ఆఫ్ యూ?
Yes. Yes.
Like background color is equal to something red color and color is equal to yellow color, something will take as of now like this. See, if you want to apply this class to the other control, in the sense just we are taking class is equal to C1, right? Am I right? So the other button also need to have the same style, in the sense button మనం తీసుకొని button కి కూడా class is equal to C1 అని పెడతాం, అవునా?
Yes.
So how many controls you want the same but class as C1, then you can able to use this. Am I right, all of you? So
Yes.
so inline is very less reusable than internal. Internal అంటే ఏంటి? మనం ఈ పేజ్ లోపల ఏదైతే రాసామో దాన్ని internal antam. This C1 is internal to this HTML page 3. See, who is the parent for C1? Style.
Style.
Who is the parent for style?
Head.
Who is the parent for head?
HTML.
సో హెచ్టిఎంఎల్ ఏదైతే క్లోజ్ అవుతుందో వన్స్ హెచ్టిఎంఎల్ క్లోజ్ అయితే ఈ స్టైల్ లోపల ఉన్న C1 ని మనం యాక్సెస్ చేయలేము. సో దిస్ C1 ఈజ్ ఇంటర్నల్ టు దిస్ HTML tag. So this C1 can able to reuse only in this page, that is HTML page 3. We can't able to use this C1 outside of this HTML page 3. సో ఇప్పుడు నాకు ఒక వెబ్సైట్ ఉంది అనుకోండి. నిన్న వీ హ్యావ్ డిస్కస్ సో మెనీ పేజెస్ రైట్, రిజిస్ట్రేషన్, లాగిన్, కాంటాక్టర్స్, అబౌట్ అస్ అండ్ HTML పేజ్ 1 అని మనం 5 పేజెస్ డిస్కస్ చేసాం అవునా. సో నేను రిజిస్ట్రేషన్ లో .c1 అని తీసుకుంటే ఆ C1 ని నేను లాగిన్ లో, కాంటాక్టర్స్ లో, అబౌట్ అస్ లో, HTML పేజ్ 1 లో ఐ కాంట్ ఏబుల్ టు యూజ్ ఇట్ రైట్ ఆల్ ఆఫ్ యూ.
Yes.
So if you want to reuse across many pages, if you want to reuse the style across many pages, we need to go ahead with external style sheet. అర్థమవుతుందా? ఇన్లైన్ అయితే ఏమవుతుంది, ఓన్లీ సేమ్ లైన్. ఇంటర్నల్ అయితే ఏమవుతుంది, ఆ పేజ్ లో మాత్రమే మనం రీయూజ్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. జస్ట్ గివ్ మీ ఎ మినిట్ అంటే వచ్చేటప్పుడు here all of you. So inline is very less reusable. Coming to internal can able to reuse anywhere in the same web page, because internal's life will be inside of this HTML only. Coming to the external style sheet, we can able to reuse anywhere in the web page. Okay, anywhere in the web page. Can we see how to create the external style sheet, all of you? Anywhere in the website. Now listen. So as of now, you people understood, right? This is inline, this is internal life till this HTML only. That means in this web page only. Internal cannot able to reuse outside of the web page. To reuse the style sheet across many pages, this C1 can able to reuse only in this page. We can't able to reuse this C1 outside of this page, that is outside of this HTML closing tag. Once you close the HTML tag, the HTML page 3 would be closed. Once you close this HTML tag, the C1 cannot be accessible. Internal can able to reuse in the same page itself. So to reuse the style across many pages in the website, we need to be depend upon the external style sheet. Now listen all of you. Which is reusable, all of you, inline or internal?
Please internal.
Because
we can use it in the page.
In the page, anywhere in the same page, we can able to reuse to many controls. Inline in the sense, inline అంటే అదే చెప్తుంది కదా, లైన్ అని. ఆ లైన్ లో మాత్రమే యూజ్ చేయగలం. ఆ లైన్ కి ఎప్పుడైతే ఇది ఎక్స్టెండ్, ఇది క్లోజ్ అయిపోద్దో, we can't able to use in other line. అర్థమైందా? The meaning is the name of the English word itself, it is indicating us, right? Inline in the sense same line. Internal in the sense the same page, wherever you want you can able to use it. ఓకేనా? సేమ్ పేజ్ అంటే ఏంటి, అదర్ పేజ్ లో మనం యాక్సెస్ చేయలేము. అదర్ పేజ్ లో మనం యాక్సెస్ చేయాలంటే we need to depend upon what? External style sheet. Now we'll see how to create external style sheet. Now see here, I'm going to the solution explorer, right clicking on the solution, add new item. In the new item, see, we are creating the what? Style sheet. As of now we have seen only HTML page. Now we are seeing what? Style sheet. What is the extension of the style sheet? .css. What is the extension of the HTML page? .html. Now listen, I'm creating a style sheet .css. Observe here all of you very carefully. In this style sheet I'm creating .c1. Okay, now here this is class as a selector right now, all of you.
Yes, ma'am.
Now see here, I'm taking a background color as green color, and color as, the color would be, I'm taking something blue color. Okay, now height is equal to 150 pixel, and width is equal to I'm taking as something 200 pixel. Now we have saved this. Am I right? The style sheet is completed, right? Now observe, I'm closing all the documents. Okay. Now where the style sheet is available in the solution,
Dot
that is
CSS.
name is style sheet
Dot C.
CSS. Now listen, I'm creating a new web page here. That is HTML page.html. Now my requirement is ఈ బటన్ కి ఎక్స్టర్నల్ స్టైల్ షీట్ లో ఉన్న C1 ని అప్లై చేద్దాం అనుకుంటున్నా. అర్థమవుతుందా? Now you want to include the external style sheet. External style sheet name ఏంటమ్మా style sheet 1.css. దాన్ని పట్టుకొని ఇలా సొల్యూషన్ మీద వదిలేయాలి. సో అంటే ఏమవుతుంది, మై వెబ్ పేజ్ వుడ్ బి లింక్ టు దిస్ స్టైల్ షీట్ 1.css.
Okay.
సో ఫర్ మై బటన్ ఐఎమ్ టేకింగ్ క్లాస్ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు C1. ఈ C1 అంటే ఏమవుతుంది, ఈ ఈ స్టైల్ ఫస్ట్ ఏమవుతుంది అంటే స్టైల్ షీట్ 1.cssకి వెళ్తుంది. సో ఆ స్టైల్ షీట్ 1.cssకి వెళ్ళిన తర్వాత C1 డేటా మొత్తం తెచ్చుకొని, సో ఇట్ వుడ్ బి రీప్లేస్ హియర్ ద C1 ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు ద ఎక్స్టర్నల్ స్టైల్ షీట్ C1. So the same way, see here, I'm just trying to run this. We'll see. Vachina, blue and
Yes.
background color is green color, 100 and 200. See. Now our requirement and other page I'm trying to create, that is HTML page 5. HTML page 5 lo unna button ki kuda I'm trying to give the same class, that is C1. So ikkada kuda style sheet 1 తో related అవ్వాలంటే ఏం చేయాలి, డ్రాగ్ చేసుకొని ఇక్కడ డ్రాప్ చేయాలి. ఇక్కడ కూడా I'm just trying to take class is equal to C1. So whatever the style as you have created style sheet 1.css, it is using across many pages, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Now see, internal అని తీసుకుంటే ఏమైంది, ఆ క్లాస్ లో ఆ పేజ్ లో మాత్రమే యూజ్ చేయగలం. ఇట్ ఈస్ నాట్ ఏబుల్ టు రీయూజ్ ఇన్ HTML page 4 and HTML page 5, right? If you want to reuse across many pages, we need to be depend upon external style sheet. అర్థమైందమ్మా?
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
So tell me all of you again, we'll have a brief discussion all these things. How many types of selectors are there?
Inline, internal, external.
Selectors, not style sheet.
Oh, the class,
Very good.
ID, tag.
Very good. How many types of style sheets are there?
3.
What are those?
Inline, internal,
Very good.
external.
Very good. Which is more a reusable style sheet?
External.
Because we are giving separately style sheet 1.css on this one, దాంట్లో స్టైల్ ఇచ్చి డ్రాగ్ డ్రాప్ చేసుకుంటే ఎన్ని పేజెస్ లో డ్రాగ్ డ్రాప్ చేసుకుంటామో అన్ని పేజెస్ లో మనం యూజ్ చేయగలం. So it would be reusable across many pages. Am I right? That's what we discussed.
Yes, ma'am.
So external is more reusable than internal. Internal is more reusable than inline. So according to this class and ID, which is more reusable? Which is more reusable?
Class.
ఒకసారి మనం క్లాస్ తీసుకొని మల్టిపుల్ ట్యాగ్స్ కి వాడచ్చు. ఆ ట్యాగ్ అయితే ఓన్లీ వన్ కంట్రోల్ కెన్ ఏబుల్ టు రీయూజ్ దట్ ట్యాగ్. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
అర్థమైందమ్మా? Take the screenshot of this. So just again listen here. What is the use of CSS? For better look and feel. Avuna? So manaki as a developers, if you have a basic idea like this, selectors and style sheet, that is more than enough. And the people who are having a designers, they are going to be see about all this look and feel purpose. As a developers, this is enough. If you have the knowledge of style sheet, what is the meaning of style sheet and what is the meaning of selectors. Okay, clear all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Take the screenshot of this.
Completed.
Now we'll see the other concept, that is JavaScript. Okay, JavaScript. Now observe here all of you very carefully. JavaScript is mostly used to perform the client side validations. Okay, what is the use of it? To perform the client side validations. See, what is the meaning of client side validation and what is the meaning of server side validation? We'll try to understand now. See here, you are opening the browser and you are hitting Gmail page. Okay, who is hitting here? That is us. I mean, I'm opening my browser. And I'm opening Gmail. Who is the client here? That is me. Am I right, all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
See, client is hitting the browser. Huh? Client is hitting the request to the server. You can say like that. Client is hitting the request to the server. Now listen here. The server will take the request that was given by the client and it will process the request and it will produce the output. సర్వర్ తోటి యూజ్ ఏంటంటే ఫస్ట్ రిక్వెస్ట్ తీసుకొనేసి ఆ రిక్వెస్ట్లో ఏముందో అర్థం చేసుకొని అది ప్రాసెస్ చేసుకొని మనకి రిజల్ట్ బ్యాక్ పంపిస్తుంది. అది సర్వర్. సో సపోజ్ ఈ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ దాట్ నేను జీమెయిల్ అన్నప్పుడు ఫస్ట్ నాకు లాగిన్ పేజ్ ఓపెన్ అవుతుందా? అవునా? ఆల్ ఆఫ్ యూ. So in the login page, what I'm doing is I'm trying to enter the username and password. I'm clicking on a submit. The request will goes to the server. Server will validate my request and it will check the username and password. If both username and password are matching according to the data that is stored in the database, ఒకవేళ data match అవుతే then it will produce the Gmail page. That is a common scenario that is happening in a real time. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
Suppose the example that ఇప్పుడు నేను ఇండియాలో ఉన్నా. సో the server that is Gmail server that is residing in other countries like in US or other places, UK or US or some other places. See, now as a user like me, I'm sending the username as wrong. I'm sending the wrong username and wrong password. So the request will needs to travel to the server that is resided in other control throughout the other country throughout the network. So username and password wrong ఇచ్చిన తర్వాత that means user is given the username like this. Normally username అంటే ఏం చేయాలి? Email address need to be follow the convention, right? @gmail.com అనే convention follow చేయాలనా?
Yes.
So user is given the username like this, like only he is given the username like this, is Kalyani anta ichindi. He is not given the @gmail.com. The email ID is not valid, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Now the password also user is given only one character. That is not following the basic rules, right? The password must and should need to be have 8 characters in length. Hona?
Yes, ma'am.
So the password also the user is given, that is also not up to the mark. So even though user is given the wrong username and wrong passwords, then the request will transfer to the server. Server will check that array username you given that is not following the email ID format, that is not, it is not having @gmail.com, and password will not having 8 characters in length. So username and password both are not correct. అవునా? So again the request will come back to the client and client notifies from the server saying that our username need to be have @gmail.com, password need to follow the length that is 8 characters in length. So again user will see that and again will send the request to the server. So what I'm telling you here is, so who is the validating the request here? Your credential, that is server. Am I right? Server is validating your silly mistakes, that is it is not following the email id format. The password is not in a password length that is 8 characters. So all these silly validations are validating by the server. See, server will be handling many users at a time, right? See, Gmail server అంటే ఎంతమంది Gmail వాడుతుంటారమ్మా minute లో? Lack of users, am I right?
Yeah.
So Gmail is even though handling the request from the many of the users, the people like some of the people, they are sending the false request like email ID is not in a correct format, password is not in a correct format. Even though they are sending the request to the server and they are making the server is too busy with this dirty request. అర్థమవుతుందా? So what is our motto here is, with the help of the JavaScript, we are checking the simple validations at the client side itself. సర్వర్ కి రిక్వెస్ట్ పోకముందే మనం క్లయింట్ సైడ్ లో మన బ్రౌజర్ లోనే వ్యాలిడేట్ చేయడానికి ఈమెయిల్ ఐడి @gmail.com ఉందా, పాస్వర్డ్ 8 డిజిట్స్ ఉందా లేదా, పాస్వర్డ్ లో స్పెషల్ క్యారెక్టర్స్ ఉన్నాయా లేదా అని మనం క్లయింట్ సైడ్ లోనే మనం వ్యాలిడేట్ చేయాలి అంటే వీఆర్ హ్యావింగ్ ద టెక్నాలజీ దట్ ఈస్ జావాస్క్రిప్ట్. మనం క్లయింట్ సైడ్ లోనే వ్యాలిడేట్ చేసినాం అనుకోండి, ఇవి మనం సర్వర్ కి పంపించక ముందే క్లయింట్ సైడ్ లోనే మనం చెక్ చేసినాం, అరే ఈమెయిల్ ఐడి @gmail.com ఉందా లేదంటే ఇప్పుడే మనం క్లయింట్ సైడ్ లోనే మనం నోటిఫై చేస్తాం. ద రిక్వెస్ట్ విల్ నాట్ బి ట్రాన్స్ఫర్ టు ద సర్వర్. సో ఇలాంటి డర్టీ రిక్వెస్ట్ సర్వర్ కి పంపించకపోతే సర్వర్ కి బర్డెన్ తగ్గుతుంది కదా. అర్థమవుతుందమ్మా? ఇట్ ఇస్ నాట్ ది సర్వర్ నౌ ఈస్ నాట్ గోయింగ్ టు హ్యాండిల్ ఎనీ డర్టీ రిక్వెస్ట్ బికాస్ దీస్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ డర్టీ రిక్వెస్ట్ వుడ్ బి హ్యాండిల్డ్ అట్ ద క్లయింట్ సైడ్ విత్ ద హెల్ప్ ఆఫ్ ద టెక్నాలజీ దట్ ఈస్ వాట్ జావాస్క్రిప్ట్. అర్థమైందమ్మా? Clear all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
So can I simply tell that with the help of the JavaScript, we can able to do the client-side validation. So JavaScript client-side validations will reduce the burden on the server. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, I'm telling you, JavaScript is used for client-side validations. With the help of JavaScript client-side validations, we are reducing the burden on the server. Okay. Now, the new frameworks are there, right? Those are like, jQuery, AngularJS, AngularJS 2, AngularJS 2, AngularJS 4, and so many other things are also be there. Those all the frameworks would be based on JavaScript. Okay, jQuery, AngularJS, AngularJS 2, AngularJS 4. Some other so many technologies are there. Those all the things are based on JavaScript. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
In tomorrow's class, we will see how to work with JavaScript and how to see the how to work with the client-side validations and all these things. We are going to be focused on tomorrow's class. Along with that, if times up, time supporters will try to start with ASP.NET as well. Clear, all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Enough for today, and we'll continue the class on tomorrow. I'll upload this video to the YouTube and I'll share the link as it is. Okay. Other than Manoj, everyone can leave the session. Yeah, thank you. Bye.